I can fix it. A young homeless boy heard the cry of a millionaire in despair. What happened next? He showed him the one thing he couldn't figure out himself, leaving everyone in shocked disbelief. Before we begin, drop a comment below. Tell us what time it is and where you're tuning in from. Also, don't forget to strike that like and subscribe button. Let's dive in. The city morning was biting and crisp. Liam adjusted his backpack, its contents meager, just a torn notebook and a chewed-up pencil. His clothes, worn and threadbare, clung to his thin frame. Despite being only 11, he appeared even younger, but his deep eyes burned with sharp curiosity. His mind buzzed with numbers, patterns dancing in his thoughts whenever he looked at the world, whether it was the uneven cracks in the sidewalk, the overhead wires, or the spinning wheels of the passing buses. He stood in front of the massive glass building, pressing his face against the cool surface. Inside, men in sharp suits scurried, their steps quick and urgent. Liam hesitated before slipping inside as a secretary brushed by. The warmth enveloped him like a soft embrace. He longed to sit and sketch numbers in his notebook just for a moment. But then he heard it, voices, raised, full of frustration. "This is a dead end," one man yelled. "We've exhausted every option," came the response. "The numbers are wrong. The load's going to fail during testing." Peering through the glass walls of a conference room, Liam saw them. Rows of executives, investors glancing impatiently at their watches, engineers frantically scribbling complex formulas across whiteboards. But Liam knew something they didn't. What happens next will blow your mind. In the middle of the room, a man in a navy suit sat with his head buried in his hands, his slicked back hair barely moving. His voice trembled as he spoke. "If we can't solve this today, we lose everything. The jet collapses before it even takes off. Do you get that?" An investor pounded the table. "We've sunk millions into this project. If you can't fix it, I'm out." Mr. Lucas lifted his head, his eyes swollen and bloodshot. "Please, just a little more time. We're close." Close. A harsh voice cut through. "Your engineers can't even get a basic fuel calculation right." Liam inched closer to the glass. His eyes locked onto the board, scanning the equations. Thrust, drag, weight distribution. It was all wrong. He could see it clearly. His hand twitched, desperate to pick up the marker. Inside the room, Lucas shouted, "Someone please try again." An engineer shook his head. "We've run it 20 ways. The math doesn't work. The plane will never fly." A tense silence fell. The investor rose, gathering his papers. The deal was unraveling. Lucas staggered backward, gripping his hair. "No, this can't be happening. Not everything I've worked for." Without realizing it, Liam stepped into the room. His voice was soft but firm. "I can fix it." Every head turned. The investors stared, their eyes wide as they took in the sight of the dirty, barefoot boy standing in the middle of the polished floor. One man sneered. "Who let him in here?" "Security," someone barked. Lucas raised his hand, voice trembling. "Wait. What did you say?" Liam's breath quickened, but his resolve was unshaken. "I said, I can fix it." He pointed to the whiteboard. "You missed the pressure factor on the wings." A woman let out a sharp laugh. "This is absurd. He's just a kid." But Lucas's gaze never left Liam. His pride cracked, and a glimmer of hope flickered in his eyes. "Show me." Could this boy actually have the answer? The room was thick with disbelief. One investor threw his hands up in the air. "This is insane. You're trusting a street kid?" Lucas snapped back, his voice sharp. "Do you have a better solution? Do you?" The room went silent. No one dared to speak. Liam took a steady step toward the board, his fingers trembling as he picked up the marker. His backpack slid off his shoulder and hit the floor with a soft thud. The room leaned in, a mix of mockery and curiosity in their eyes. Lucas stood frozen, hands pressed to his forehead. Liam drew a quick line, then another number spilled out, his voice growing steadier. "You've got the wrong constant here and this balance is off. Look at the thrust ratio." His words gained confidence with each breath. "It's not broken. You just didn't finish it." The engineers stared, stunned into silence. The investors shifted nervously in their seats. Lucas's jaw dropped as Liam's hand moved faster, filling the board with equations, diagrams, even a rough sketch of the wing arrows pointing to airflow. The only sound in the room was the squeak of the marker against the board. Lucas, barely able to breathe, whispered, "My God." Liam stopped, his chest rising and falling quickly. He dropped the marker and took a step back, his work now filling half the board. At the bottom, a final line boxed in the solution. He turned to face them all, his expression calm. "That's how you fix it." The silence broke with gasps. One man grabbed his head in disbelief. A woman muttered, "No, it can't be." The engineers crowded closer, their eyes darting back and forth over the numbers. But could it really be that simple? Lucas stumbled backward, his hands covering his mouth. His voice cracked as he whispered, "He actually did it." The room, filled with men who had laughed at the sight of a boy in rags, stood in stunned silence as a homeless child solved what the experts in Millionaires could not. Lucas's lips quivered. "A boy just fixed it." One investor, caught between awe and disbelief, scoffed, "This is insane. He's just a kid. This can't be happening." But then one of the engineers stepped closer, his eyes scanning Liam's work. His voice wavered. "He's right. Every change, it all fits. The balance is perfect. The design holds." Another engineer slammed his hand on the table. "The jet can fly. The project is saved." Gasps filled the room, followed by applause and cheers. Some investors clapped in disbelief, while others held their heads in shock. Cameras flashed as someone pulled out a phone to capture the moment. Lucas stepped forward, his hands trembling. Slowly he crouched to meet Liam's eyes. His voice was barely a whisper, how could you possibly do this?" Liam lowered his gaze. "I just see the numbers. They fit together like a puzzle." The room erupted in applause, but Liam flinched at the noise. He didn't smile. Instead, his eyes remained on the floor. What was he hiding behind that silence? Lucas's face tightened with confusion. "What's wrong, son? You just saved us. This is a miracle." Liam's shoulders tensed and he whispered, "I'm not a miracle. I'm not your project. I'm just a boy." The room fell silent. People exchanged confused glances. Liam's grip on his backpack strap tightened, and his voice grew stronger, though laced with pain. "I was adopted a year ago. They found out I was good with numbers, too good. They didn't treat me like their son. They treated me like a tool, something to make them money. They showed me off, made me solve things for their friends, their businesses. But they never saw me. They only saw dollar signs." Gasps filled the room. Lucas opened his mouth, but Liam pushed forward, his voice cracking. "I ran away. I'd rather live on the streets than be treated like that. It's better to be nobody than someone's prize." The room was heavy with silence. Even the investors, who had cheered moments before, now shifted uncomfortably, their applause dying in their throats. Lucas's eyes filled with tears as he shook his head slowly. "My God, you're not just a genius. You're a child who's been used." Liam wrapped his arms around himself, his voice barely a whisper. "I don't want to be used anymore." The engineers stood back, murmuring to each other. One said, "He's more than genius. This boy, he's something we've never seen." But Liam's voice cut through the air once more. "I'm not just genius. I'm human. And I need someone to see me that way first." For the first time, the room full of wealthy, powerful men was speechless. Could they ever truly see him for who he was? They no longer saw the boy as a tool but as a person, fragile, small, and incomprehensibly brilliant. Lucas's throat tightened and his voice wavered. "Liam, I can't undo what's been done to you, but I swear this. No one here will use you. Not me, not my company. Your gift isn't something you owe to anyone. You deserve a family who loves you, not for what you can do but for who you are." Tears shimmered in Liam's eyes, but he quickly blinked them away. For a moment he seemed on the verge of running, just like before. But Lucas extended his hand slowly, not grabbing, just offering. "Stay. Just for tonight. Eat, rest, be safe. That's all I ask. No problems. No equations. Just let us treat you like the boy you truly are." The investors, humbled by his words, nodded slowly. The room, once thick with greed, now settled into an unexpected silence, filled with respect. Liam hesitated, his small fingers trembling, but then he placed his hand in Lucas's. The man squeezed it gently, his voice breaking. "You're worth more than every plane, every dollar in this room. And I'll make sure the world knows that." The applause that followed wasn't for the formula or the project saved. It was for the boy who had walked in off the streets, carrying nothing but a tattered backpack and a gift no one could measure. For the first time he was seen not as a tool but as a person. Not as money but as a son. A miracle of his own. If you like this story, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more heartwarming, dramatic, and surprising stories. We'd also love to hear from you in the comments. Where are you tuning in from? We enjoy hearing from all of you. Until next time, stay kind.